Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Wednesday, Hump Day. It's Hump Day, right? Yes, happy Wednesday. I am John Halcyon. This is Love Ambassador Morning. This is our opportunity to share gratitude, to give thanks, to listen to like-minded, open-hearted, wonderful love ambassadors like you that are giving us a little taste of what's good in your world. What are you excited about? What are you relieved about? Maybe even what you're nervous about, maybe what your future grateful for. Set some intentions with us. Good morning. I am John Halcyon. I have been in Santa Barbara. And man, I feel like lots has happened since I last saw you. We'll get into that. But first, as I encourage you to say hello and introduce yourself. And also, I like to start these messages with a song for us. I sing it if I'm in a car or train, airplane or bus. I make up the words to start this day so we can feel the best. And if you know more words, then come on, fill in the rest. It's love morning, it's love morning, it's love morning, it's love morning. Good morning. Welcome to this day. I am starting to get my room set up. I kind of like the way the decor looks here with just plants. We'll see how that lasts or what else I do, if I put something behind the wall behind me or if these plants can handle the light in here. The only one I'm worried about is this one here. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough light for that guy. Good morning, Mingle. Thanks for saying hello. Good morning. I got to go to such a beautiful memorial service this weekend for a man named Don Rosenthal. And Don Rosenthal is a accomplished therapist, couples therapist, a pioneer in medicine-assisted therapy, and a mentor to some of my mentors. I met him as a very old man. He had Parkinson's for the last 15 years. And so when I met him, he was, shaky but still, it reminds me a lot of Grandpa Caleb as a man who had lived his life dedicated to what he believed to be the best use of his energy, to help people, to love people. And he learned a lot. Like he had years of living in Alaska, in the woods, in just really dedicated to inner work, and then a incredibly dedicated relationship to his wife, partner, Martha, of, I think they said 53 years they'd been together. And just witnessing this dynamic of this couple that was so dedicated to the relationship. Maybe I'll share a little bit more about that. But first, I just want to say good morning and hello. Looks like we have a modest group that have tuned in this morning. So hopefully all is well and we can continue to check in and share gratitude. You can see on the screen, I am announcing that I'm doing a Love Ambassador weekend in January. And I know I owe you a call about that, Mingle, but hopefully we'll have a chance to talk today. And if you are, like Mingle, curious about this weekend and curious if maybe it's something that you want to participate in or have more questions, do let me know. It's something where we get together in Solana Beach, which is the home that I broadcast in with the ocean in the background. And we do a day of connection exercises and workshops. And then the Saturday night, we all go together to the Pink Party dance event in San Diego. And then Sunday, we do integration and go to the beach. And it's really a lot about just connecting and practicing and feeling this vibe of full acceptance and celebration of one another and in an intensified, magnified way of being in person. And it's really special. Like, had 3 signups already. There's 12 spots total. And all the people that signed up were people that were there last year. They're like, I want to do it again. So feeling that's for me, a nice affirmation that it is a valuable, beautiful experience. Good morning, Juan. Good morning. Love ambassadors to the rescue. Indeed. Good morning, Natasha. Great to see you. Grateful you caught us too. I have been away and not broadcasting as I've been in Santa Barbara because we had the memorial on Sunday, and then Lisa had a therapy session that she led with her co-facilitator on Wednesday. So I just hung out and actually cruised around Santa Barbara, and her co-facilitator is a longtime mentor of mine named Ishmael, and Ishmael had been kind of playing with the idea, and we really are committed now, and we're making plans to do a men's group, probably an in-person men's group that will meet, for a day throughout the year. And so we even took pictures together so that we could have some marketing material. And I'm so honored. He is a huge influence on me as a man that I met that was like, I can learn how to be a man from this guy, super vulnerable and self-aware and humble and strong. Ishmael is amazing. If you heard me tell the stories of when I met Lisa, and then we sat down with our mentor who did a little couples session with us for our first date, that was Ishmael. And so now Ishmael are talking about doing a men's group together. So I'm giddy. I'm honored, and I think that we can do really good work together. We've actually been in a one-off men's groups together 3 times, and each time we were kind of like, this, I think we could do good together. Natasha says, loving the plant background. Thanks. I think it kind of works too. I mean, my room is a little jungly, but I've been thinking about how do I want to make a set out of this new space? And I think just this is it. Plants. Maybe something behind me. I do have a light back there that I can, I could kind of make it a little bit more interesting, but I don't know. It's kind of fun just to have plants. Good morning, Quentin. Good morning. What are you grateful for? And Brent, good morning. What are you grateful for? I saw a post of Brent, of you, and I think it's Susan. And I'm glad I caught it online because I was able to celebrate your love. And then I got a response from Susan, and it was just so warming. Happy hump day. Good morning, Zoe. I feel like, Zoe, and I hope you don't take this the wrong way, I feel like when you celebrate hump day, you bring to it a reverence and a whimsy that hump day deserves. Natasha is grateful for my partner who is helping push me to strengthen my knee with exercises. I don't really want to do them, but need to. And walking with me at a pace that is challenging for me, but very slow for them. Good man. I am so happy to see your partnership and the many ways that is benefiting. That's the word I'm looking for. Enhancing both of your lives. Tasha's saying, I'm about to jungle up my house. Gonna put bars up in front of all the windows to hang plants. Nice. One thing that I'm struggling with a little bit is some of my plants are not doing, I came back from a trip and there was 2 yellow leaves on one of my bigger plants, and I panicked, and I'm trying to figure out if it maybe has a little bug issue or if it's just the trauma of being moved. I think, Natasha, you even actually chimed in on the thread that I put online, because that plant that had like a burned leaf had two more that were yellow when I came back from my trip. The other thing I'm wondering about is I got a little moisture monitor someone recommended, and every time I put it in the soil, it says wet. And so I've actually been watering my plants less than ever, and I'm wondering if, I don't know. That would be amazing, Brent. Hey, it's funny, as I'm reading your name, Rashid, I am blanking on the name that I used to know as your screen name, but I recognize your face and have an immediate association with wise thoughts. So great to see you this morning. Good morning. Only whimsical humping for me. Hey, sexy, silly, sacred. Actually, what am I? Oh, I'm not wearing that shirt now, but I do have a pink shirt that says that. Quentin says, I am grateful for marrying my husband 3 weeks ago. Congratulations! We've been together for 2 years, and he's immigrating here from Poland. We moved in 3 months ago. Congratulations. What's his name? Related, due to certain current events, we're about to move from Utah to Colorado. Colorado is gorgeous. So are parts of Utah, but I am happy if you are happy. I have lots of friends in Colorado. Actually, I went to a memorial on Sunday and on Saturday. And Sunday was for Dawn, and let me turn that light off. And maybe I'll turn off this. Oh, actually, I don't even know if I can turn off this Love Ambassador weekend. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, okay. So on Saturday, I went to the memorial for my Aunt Anne, and I've been experiencing a really wonderful and interesting phenomenon experience where my perception, the connection and feeling I have when I hear stories or witness couples, long-term married couples, or generally long-term married couples or even friends I know that have been together 10 plus years, that I have a different appreciation now that I am in a situation where I am committed and dedicated to building a life with a partner. And that shift in me, which then allowed for a shift in relationship, I witness and see. I have the frequencies that I can experience of understanding romantic, committed partnership love is wider, and I have this deeper appreciation for what it takes and what it means. I guess I just didn't understand. It's like I see the moon. I know it's cool. That's different than walking on the moon and going, oh my gosh, yes. So I've been walking on the moon with Lisa, and now when I hear stories of couples or I see the way they act and treat and demonstrate partnership, it is really powerful to me. And so my uncle, who I really love, he shared, and he talked about having the Carol syndrome. Carol is my grandmother on Caleb's wife's name is Carol. And I didn't understand until the very end that the Carol syndrome means easily crying. And I'm like, oh, I go, Mom, what's Carol syndrome? He goes, oh, you have it. That means you cry easily. I'm like, oh yeah, I do have that. So he shared some beautiful words and showed some emotion. It was really touching and beautiful. And then they showed this slideshow, and the pictures of my aunt and uncle, like in the 70s, with big hair and big mustaches and flower clothes, and they seen them as these young, hot, sexy, free, hippie people, and seeing their lives just through the years together, I was really emotional. And I was just quietly crying because it was a quiet room of just only family, mostly, family not connected on my side of the family. And then after the slideshow, I went into the bathroom and bawled by myself. It just really hit me. And mostly feeling the grief of my uncle, who is now got this chapter of his life without the person he built a life with. And I also felt these parallels with, that's when I really got to know my grandfather, was after my grandmother passed. And I had a really nice, brief conversation with my uncle, and I was kind of like, I have a feeling that my relationship with him will deepen now, but we'll see. It was beautiful. I was really touched. Good morning, Gerbot. And congratulations, Quentin and Kevin. Good morning, Angela. Angela says, I look like I'm glowing. Well, thank you. Angela's grateful for my messages each morning. Also grateful to wake up healthy. What's going on here? And have the wherewithal to take a moment with the sun on my face and take a breath and appreciate a new day. Sure to have challenges as well as wins. Right on. Yes, yes, yes. Zoe says, today I am grateful for the community I've quickly found in Portland, right? PDX, and my new friendly neighbors. Nice. Natasha says, giant steps are what you take. I'm like, why do I know that? Giant steps are what you take. Walking on the moon. Nice. Aaron says, I am grateful and still learning for my experience as a long-term partner. Yeah, I am learning too. And I'm so grateful for my relationship with Lisa and our communication and our self-awareness. I think we're both really good at recognizing, like, I was dysregulated yesterday, and I maybe could have acted in a way that did not affect you so much. Or when I reacted in this way because I had a story of this expectation. And so I think we're doing really good at being partners in self-growth, pushing each other to not get caught up in our stories and to be aware when we do and aware when we are acting from our triggered, wounded places. And forgiveness and understanding. It really makes that makes all the difference. Good morning, Pierre. Natasha says, yes, I feel all of this. My partner's mother died earlier this year, and now we are bringing his dad down to live with us, and we are both going through that observation and these emotions for Pops. He lost his life partner of 50 years. Yeah. So that was the Sunday memorial, and then, it was the Saturday memorial. And then Sunday, went to Santa Barbara for Dawn's, and I have to say, Natasha says, I love this for us, John. It's really cool to see. I know. I hope, I think we've talked about this, but Natasha and I were partners 15 years ago, longer, something like that. And we were both very different people. And we both helped each other learn a lot, and we both made some mistakes, and it's really beautiful to be able to observe and celebrate one another's mature, grown-up relationships. So, a real source of warm fuzzies for me to be connected in this way. Thank you for sharing and being, and thank you to your partner too. So Dawn's celebration, it was intimate, probably 30 people, but the 30 people there all felt like Dawn changed their lives. His work, his love, his therapeutic wisdom, his guidance changed their lives. And so the sharing and the profound gratitude from the people that were there was really so beautiful to watch. I didn't realize that Dawn has a book that I need to look up, Dawn Rosenthal, something about the something journey or something like that. So I've heard it's fantastic. Many people there are talking about how they're going to edit and work with all these recordings of him. Most of my experience of Dawn is through the way he has impacted and touched and helped Lisa. And there was another couple there that was an older couple that are also couples therapists. And so these two couples used to get together when they were young couples therapists, 30 years ago, and they were both passionately dedicated to learning how to love and help people love and how to make these partnerships. And so they would get together and share what they're learning and what's working for them in their sessions. And so this other couple shared beautiful stories about their growth as these two couples. I kept thinking, oh man, I wish those conversations were recorded. These two just pioneering love, like these, love ambassadors. These were the love ambassador pioneers. And then after the ceremony, there was a campfire, and this older couple shared a lot of their philosophies about relationship and how they teach. And my jaw was like, because their focus is about giving and receiving. And the more they talked, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like advanced gifting. Like the way they talk about the practice of relationship, it really integrates so much of the things that changed my life about gifting in a Burning Man way. So I shared with them like how these things, what they said and what it meant to me and how it affected what I'm thinking about Burning Man. I want to learn more about your philosophies. And the woman said, I want to learn more about Burning Man. Aaron says, how does one bring together active mistrust and acceptance? I would be very grateful to understand. Oh, wow. Lisa and I were talking on our long ride from Santa Barbara home yesterday about trust and building trust in line. And partially because we were listening to a podcast interview on Smartless with Matthew McConaughey. I love Matthew McConaughey. He is a unique being. And part of their conversation was about lying and being a liar. And there are times when you can tell a mistruth or an untruth. It's not the same as being a liar. But my thought, I was telling Lisa, I go, Lisa, if you establish some deceit to me and I discovered that you were lying about something, that would affect everything. I saw a meme and it said, I'm not angry about you lying. I'm upset because now I can't trust you anymore. Or I'm upset because now I have to question everything you say or something like that. And trust is one of those things where it has to be built. It has to be earned. Well, I take that back. I think you can start with trust, but once it is lost, like I generally have a pretty high level, I assume good intent. But if, a behavior is demonstrated, whether it's not showing up on time or saying you can do things that you can't, or actively hiding something, if I ask a question and I get a response that is not the truth, how long does it take before I trust your answer to be not affected by some of the things that I know you're capable of doing. So I think I don't know how to bring together mistrust and acceptance. I think that what has to happen is, and maybe I'm going off in the wrong direction of what your intention of your question is, but if there is mistrust, I guess question one is it earned? Because far more often in a relationship, someone mistrusts their partner, not because of what their partner did, but because of what happened to that person in the previous relationships. So 5 years ago, I was cheated on and lied to, and now I perceive the world as anybody could be lying to me. Anybody could be lying to me. And that is so tragic. That is on that list of reasons why don't cheat on people. Don't lie. Because you damage the trust so deeply. So if that's the situation where the mistrust isn't earned, it's just jealousy because of past things or something like that, that is something where you have to have patience with each other and just keep reminding, and hopefully with therapeutic help, like understanding, am I acting from a place based on this relationship, or am I being pulled into the past? And can I find a way to recognize that, let it go, and go, this person does not deserve the judgment based on the past? But if there has been a mistrust within a relationship, like cheating, I think that there needs to be a dramatic change in communication, a dramatic confessional. These were the thoughts I had. This is the fears I had. This is why I was going through that. And then as you move forward, saying, I was having these feelings today of this, I am doing this, and saying, I'm having this insecurity thought right now, I'm having this, and really build the trust and saying, I'm going to let you see everything that I'm experiencing. I'm trusting you to think, oh, I was just fantasizing about that person on TV. Whatever, like the truth. And really pushing against the instinct to, like, I want to tell this person what they want to hear, because that's what got you into this mistrust. That's what made you lie, is you said what you thought the other person wanted to hear. And you are denying the other person their sovereignty of being able to make a choice. So you need to keep telling the truth and let them decide if they are going to trust the truth and build trust in the truth, even if it's scary or doesn't paint you in a good light. That you need to let someone learn to trust a broken you rather than build a relationship with a fake you. Forgiveness is a superpower like gratitude. And forgiveness is, forgiveness is different than forgetting. Forgiveness is recognizing that as I hold on to my bitterness, my experience of life is tainted with tension and suffering. So forgiveness is saying, I see the flawed human you are, and the actions you made, and the trauma that you made it from, and I see that you are a child of God and you are doing the best you can with what you got. I forgive you. Now, what do I do to protect myself now? I might say, okay, I forgive you, and I'm going to call and check on you a lot because I can't have that disappointment happen again. Or I forgive you, and you can't go out with your buddies anymore. Or I forgive you, and you can't stay at my house anymore when I'm not here. I'm not holding on to, I forgive you. I'm just establishing boundaries so that I feel safe. Like, I forgive the dog for peeing in the house. And now, if it's going to be in the house, there's going to be paper down. Or I'm not going to let it in the house. I'm not going to live in anger about the dog. I love the dog for what it is, doing the best it can. And then I establish boundaries in my behavior in my life so it doesn't continually hurt me. I'm going to skip your comment on the government right now, Natasha, just because maybe another day. Thank you, Gerbot. Thank you. Establishing boundaries with grace and beauty instead of tension and anger. Right. I think that's the key, is recognizing that everyone is humaning. Like, I do things from a wounded place sometimes. So I'm not, I want to be forgiven, but I would understand if someone adjusted their behavior so that they didn't have to be hurt by me in the future. Yeah. And that's all, that's it. So how can we make boundaries so that we can continue loving someone exactly as they are? Establishing boundaries for the win. That is so much easier said than done. But yes, I think, yeah, that's good stuff. Brent says, I wish I'd known more about autism, ADHD for myself and my ex-wife of 25 years. Aaron says, hearing and seeing that would be a game changer. Yeah. Don't lie. Love it. You know, I talked with someone a few weeks ago who had a history of cheating on their partners. And now they were in a relationship, they were married, and they shared with me that they had been faithful for a full year. And they had never had that experience before of being faithful for an entire year with a partner. And we started talking, and he said, I'm experiencing this feeling of like pride or integrity. Like, he didn't quite have the word, but like trying to like he feels good about himself, not because of his accomplishments, not because of his cars, not because of the money he has. He's feeling good because he is acting in a way that he knows to be honest and righteous and respectful and like a man. And because his whole life he had not held himself to those standards, he just like didn't have the experience of that feeling of like, oh, I'm a good man, I'm a good person. I think that's a huge part of what brings us together as love ambassadors, is that we know that, like, if you sacrifice your high level values to get things, if you lie, if you manipulate, if you do, then you sleep, you live with a little bit of, like, I know that when I was in, active addiction, I wasn't even thinking about it up here, but a part of me had that same feeling. Like there is a splinter that makes me uncomfortable because I'm not fully proud. I'm not fully okay and vibrating in the integrity of my humanness. And so when we can get to a place where we are experiencing that, it's like like being healthy after being sick for a very long time. And I'll say, that we kind of go in and out. Like right now, I've been eating a little bit too much chocolate and candy, and so I have a little splinter down there of like, I think you're a little out of alignment there. But I think we're continually trying to get to that place of like, and that's why when we witness someone like Grandpa Caleb or Don Rosenthal, we go, this is a person who is just existing in this state of like, I am in integrity, and their presence helps us to appreciate and align with, and then therefore become deeper experiencing of that feeling of healthy vibrancy. Good morning, Julie. Good morning, everyone. I've been talking for a long time, and I am so happy to be back after my trip. Happy to be sharing my cool plant kingdom with you. Happy to be announcing or letting you know that the Love Ambassador Weekend is available and live. And I think I have links out there somewhere, but I will try to keep sharing, putting the links up. We've got a few signups already. Everyone who signed up already are the people that I let know last year's participants, and a few of them already signed up for this year. So if you'd like to be there, just a small group, like 12 people, for a day of connection, exercises and workshops, and then a dance party, and then some integration and beach time in Solana Beach on January 11th and 12th. So really, really, really looking forward to that now that it's on the calendar. Really grateful to have shared some gratitude and connection with you this morning. Thank you for being a part of this Love Ambassador morning. Thank you for being you in the world. As we go off into the day, let's try to be representatives of this vibration of connection and this attempt to be our highest selves, to this quest to be in integrity so that we can vibrate in the way that those beautiful elders do, and make the world better and make people better simply by their presence. And we're all doing that when we're at our best, and we all need that when we're struggling. So that's what community is for. So wherever you are, let's give ourselves a big old squeeze. Feel connected in this moment. Feel the gratitude. Feel the beautiful day ahead. Let's feel this hug as we recognize we're all doing the best we can with what we got. So let's forgive and set boundaries and open ourselves to connection as we take a deep breath in and squeeze. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all of you beautiful ambassadors of love, thanks for being here today. I love you. Join me in Solana Beach, San Diego, California, January 11th and 12th. Talk to you tomorrow.